Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about how to make your convention game, whether it's online or in person, as most successful as it can be. You spend a lot of time getting ready for a convention, invest a lot of time, want to make it as fun as possible for your players and for you as the game master because you did spend all that time. My name's Carl, I'm with Tabletop Tango, and we are a video channel where we try to do some deep dives on RPG topics, do some things that we think are kind of interesting, and hopefully you like them. If you like it, I would love that you subscribe and like, just because it'd be fun to have it. I'm not necessarily looking to be famous, but it'd be fun just to see that people are liking what we're doing. So let's talk about how you make that convention game successful and fun and really an enjoyable experience all around. So first, most importantly, be on time. You're the game master. Be there before the players. Make sure you're set up. You're ready to go. Greet the players when they come. Find out how much experience they've had in the game system. Maybe have your pregens out so people can look at them. You're the game master. Be there on time, ready to go, so that when it's time to play, you are ready, and then all the players will be ready as well. Number two, be prepared to give a quick overview of the rules. You're going to have players come to your game who have not played your system. Usually that happens a lot because it's a con and people want to try out new things in the convention that they've never tried before. Hey, that's what I do. When I go to a convention, I rarely play games that I play all the time. I'll try something different. Hey, I've never played PBTA. Let's go play some variant that's being showcased, and let's try that out. Let's try out something else we haven't tried. So I don't know the rules when I show up. So you as the game master who put together this great adventure, be prepared to spend 5 or 10 minutes going over the core concepts of the game. Just the core concepts. You don't have to go over every last detail, because a lot of that will come up as you are going through the actual gameplay. So you don't necessarily have to go through all the details of combat until you hit that combat. And then you can try to talk somebody through, here's how we do initiatives, here's how we do that, here's how the bonuses might work, and let's think about the things you have on your sheet and let's help walk you through. But in the beginning, hey, here's how you roll that. Like in Savage Worlds, everything's basically a 4. You have dice based on your skill, different levels, D68. You roll them. If you're over 4, you generally succeed, blah, blah, blah. Number 3 goes along with rules. You need to know the rules cold, either to the point where you don't have to look them up in a book, or you feel comfortable making rulings when you don't remember the rules, and just make it up on the fly and feel comfortable that you can do that. Nothing slows down a game, whether it's your personal game at the table or whether specifically it's a con game, if you have to look up a rule. Know what you're going to be doing during your event. If you're going to be using in Savage Worlds, there's things like chase mechanics, social conflict, dramatic tasks. If I'm using those, I make sure I refer to them. I look them up before I get to the game to make sure I remember how to do them. So when time comes to hit it, I'm ready to go. I don't have to go, oh my God, I don't remember what that works. And you should be the same when you're doing your convention game. Again, if you don't remember the rule, also be prepared to just wing it and make that ruling, keep the game moving and not stop. Fourth, this one's a personal preference and a personal opinion. Use pregens. Generate the characters before the convention. Unless you're playing Traveler and you want to use the character creation as part of your mini game, just get pregens. Again, players may be coming in, don't know the system. They're not going to know how to generate a character. You're going to be trying to run a table of 4 to 6 people. You can't spend time helping people generate characters. It just doesn't make sense. They're there to run an adventure. I see that on occasion, but most people do pregens. If you weren't thinking about doing them, do them. Just do pregens. Next item, number 5, you should build a scalable adventure. And what I mean by that is have the ability to cut things out or add things in. So have sort of your toolbox that's full. I'll give you an example. I had an adventure called Top Knots and Takesis, which is a Dragonlance adventure. And the players could, the idea is they're grabbing an artifact and they need to go and get rid of this artifact so that, one of the Dark Lords can't find it and use it and that sort of thing. So what did I do? I built in a ability to go longer to like a mountaintop and destroy it through flame. But if the players aren't quite there, it can be destroyed through, falling in the ocean. They're traveling by ship, falling into the ocean forever in the abyss, and no one can find it. To them, they don't know which is the actual ending point because both are satisfying. You can also look at trimming fat out in the middle if things are seen to be going slower. Maybe make that combat a little easier. Maybe make a couple of rolls for something instead of going a full-blown role-play session. So that's important. Make an adventure that's scalable. Number 6, watch your pacing. This goes along with the Scalable Adventure. You've got 4 hours, you got 3.5 hours, what have you, to get through this adventure. Some conventions in Europe, I hear, are even shorter. You need to keep an eye on the clock. You need to understand where players should be in the progression of the story as you go. So nothing's really kind of frustrating as a player if you get stuck on the first encounter and then you don't make a lot of progress, and then time runs up and the game master goes, well, if you would have finished, you would have found out this. It's just frustrating because you're there to experience what the game master's putting together as far as a story. So as the game master, think about that pacing. Help move players along. With the Scalable Adventure, you can slow them down because you can add in some pieces there. Always worry about pacing. Number 7, this goes to building an adventure that works at a convention where you have a lot of different people. You don't know these people. Again, you don't know how much skill they have in it. You don't know what they like. And so build an adventure that kind of works for different play styles. So you'll have the hack and slasher, you'll have the role player, you'll have, someone who's a little more quiet, introspection, likes to have puzzles. If you can build an adventure that has a piece of that for each one of those individuals so that they can perk up and get engaged when their piece comes, your adventure is going to be just that much more exciting and much more fun. So all the players will get done and they'll say, wow, that was really cool. I solved this puzzle. Wow, that was really cool because I got to talk to the shopkeeper and I found out the secret. That was awesome. And then the guy says, hey, there was some great combat. I got to use my skills. And there's other play styles too. So think through how you build the adventure to work with a lot of different people and the way they like to play their game. This is not your personal group who they all love killing things and taking their stuff, and that's really how they work. No, you're going to have some people who are like really want to role play and they really want to, be in character, and you need to give them an opportunity to do that. There you go. Number 8, keep the spotlight moving. You've got 4 to 6 players at your table. They paid for this event. They traveled. They've got hotel rooms, all sorts of things, or even online. They're taking time out of their schedule to play the game. Shift that spotlight around. Give everybody a chance to shine. It goes to having different characters have pieces of the puzzle. So, there's something for the rogue, something for the fighter, something for the magic user, or, in a futuristic or modern, there's something for the folks who are more investigative. There's people, everybody gets a chance for the spotlight. And there's things you can do to ensure that. So you can do the jump cut where you're saying, hey, what's each person doing at this time? Let's describe it. Let's actually ask so that we don't get bogged down with one set of people who are role-playing and really carrying on and having a grand old time, and everyone else is starting to disengage at the table. Move that spotlight around. In the convention, everybody's there to have fun. You're there to have fun. Give everybody a piece to have fun with. 9, don't forget about breaks. People need a time to kind of decompress. People need a time to go to the bathroom, get something to eat, what have you. Sometimes it's easy. You'll get in the zone. But don't forget those breaks, because what will happen is people need breaks. They'll take them anyway. And so you'll be in the middle of something and one person will wander off, another person will wander off. Give them really something structured and say, hey, let's be back in 5 minutes. We'll start up. But here, take a couple minutes for yourself. So breaks are important. Now, number 10 is sort of a multiple one based on whether it's in-game or in-person. First, if it's an in-person convention, I totally recommend walking the table. Walk around the table, listen to people carefully. These rooms are noisy. Understand what they're doing. Explain what you're seeing, and doing that in a way that's interactive with everybody so that you can ensure that you know what they're doing and they know what you're saying. I also stand up. I don't sit down because then that helps me project It helps me see what they're doing, looking down without, sort of scaling back. It shows I'm engaged in the game and I'm excited, and that pulls them into the game as well. Also in person, gimmicks are cool, props, gimmicky things, but don't overdo it. The whole point of the adventure is to tell a story, a shared story, have fun doing it. If you come in and all it is one prop after another. I played a game where we were on sort of an island where there was a secret treasure and we were trying to find it in a modern time. And every puzzle was like a physical thing. So the game master, we ran up against a lock. He handed us a padlock. All right, well, I haven't opened a padlock since high school. So we fudged around for 15 minutes when my character should just roll a dice and say, yeah, I figured it out. Then we found an electronic thing, and he handed us one of these electronic kids kits where you can put things together and make a circuit. And that continued on and on and on. So that was a cool gimmick. I get it. I see what he was trying to do, but man, it wasn't a story. Now it was sort of, a bunch of puzzles that the player had to save. Some people might enjoy that. Wasn't enough in the description. That's another thing. If you are going to do something like that, or you're going to have a certain kind of play style you expect, like a meat grinder or something, make sure that's in your description so people know it. I guess that's a bonus one. Call it 11. But make sure that you keep that description clean. For online play, test your setup before you ever get there. Work with a buddy who maybe not in the game, but he's also got Discord, or he's got Roll20, or he's got Foundry, or he's got whatever. Make sure things are working. You got dynamic lighting on different, if you're going to use it on different of these virtual tabletops. Make sure it's working with the tokens and everything's right. Make sure your audio's good, through Discord, that the microphone you're planning on using or the headset, that everything's really dialed in before the players show up. Now, the players may have technical difficulty, but you shouldn't be fighting your system to make sure that you get that done. Other thing on online, you probably will have to explain a little bit about how the technology works, so don't be afraid to do that. So, you've used my advice. You've got Pregens. They're in the system. Most of these tools have automation, so you can bring up the character sheet, and if somebody says, hey, roll a shooting roll, they click one button and it says, did I hit? Did I do damage? Takes care of all of that. But the player doesn't necessarily know where that button is. So you should be familiar enough to be able to explain to them very quickly how to roll things, how to use their character sheet, how to interact with the token, what have you, on the virtual tabletop in case they've never used it. So that goes along with knowing the rules. You know the rules, you can make rulings, you know how the technology works, you can quickly walk somebody through it. So I gave you 11. I'll give you one more bonus. So one more bonus is playtest, playtest, playtest. If you're doing a convention, you gotta playtest the game. Play it with your friends. I've even done in the past, I've done for an online one, I've done a pre-event where I've tried to get a bunch of players in a looking for group and just brought them in and ran them through the one shot so I could get their input before I ever ran the actual con game with the convention. And why is that important? Because all the things I talked about, a scalable adventure, pacing, knowing how to run the table, all those things you got to get comfortable with. And you also will run into, oh yeah, I didn't know that rule. Let me look it up now and I won't have to look it up later. All those things need to be looked at. You have a scalable adventure, but you're running it and you go, oh, I don't have enough to pad out as people go through it too fast because they're really running through it. Or I scaled this back here and the story doesn't make sense anymore. Or pacing. My pacing's just completely off. I'm not moving players along. They're getting stuck, what have you. So playtest is a huge thing. And so that's my number 11. So let's walk through them. 1, be on time. You're the game master. You're running the game, be on time. 2, be prepared to give your players update of rule or introduction to the rules so they can get playing and know what they're doing. 3, you know the rules and be able to make rulings on the fly without opening the books and slowing everything down. 4, pregens. 5, build a scalable adventure so that you can add to or remove to really meet that 4-hour commitment. Related to that, watch your pacing, make sure that you know when things are going to happen and you can move players along or if things are getting a little slow. 7, build the adventure that works for multiple play styles so that you've got everybody covered and everybody comes out saying, hey, I had a piece that I enjoyed. Aligned with that, then we talk about keeping the spotlight moving so that players get to see their character have a chance to do something interesting. Don't forget breaks. Another important thing, we're human, we have bio needs. Don't forget breaks. 10, a couple of other tips. In person, walk the table, be sure you're heard. I stand up. Really work to engage those players by showing that you're in the game. 2, for online play, test everything out before it runs. Your audio, everything. Make sure everything is perfect before the players show up. 2, be prepared to explain how the technology works and what's necessary to make everything, an enjoyable experience for the players. And then lastly, play test it. Make sure that you've run this adventure at least once and made tweaks based on how well it went. Or just completely scrap it. I've done that before and said, this completely doesn't work. We need to do something completely different. Playtest will get you there. So this was Carl. Hopefully this was a useful video of all the different things that you can do to make your con game more successful, whether it's in person or whether it's online. I have other videos related to conventions, related to how you can take notes and all sorts of things like that. One of them should be over there that you can see. And hopefully you liked it. Again, subscribe, hit the like button if it's good content, and I'll appreciate it. Once again, Carl Davis with Tabletop Tango. We'll see you next time. Thanks, gang.